It's a quiet Tuesday afternoon in the year 2023, and you're Ethel Thompson, a spry 78-year-old widow living in a cozy bungalow in suburban Ohio. You've just finished your daily crossword puzzle from the newspaper. Remember when those came on actual paper, not some fancy app? And you're settling in with a cup of tea when the phone rings. Not your cell phone, mind you, but the good old landline that's been on the wall since Nixon was president. You pick it up, expecting it to be your granddaughter calling about her latest TikTok dance or whatever the kids are into these days. But no, it's a voice with a thick accent claiming to be from Microsoft technical support. He says there's a problem with your computer, and if you don't act fast, your whole system could crash. You chuckle to yourself, crash, like that time your old Ford Pinto backfired in '76. But you play along because, let's face it, dealing with computers these days is like trying to tune a rabbit ear TV antenna during a thunderstorm. Frustrating, unpredictable, and usually ends with you yelling at inanimate objects. The scammer, let's call him Raj, though that's probably not his real name, just like how your grandkids call you Gram instead of Ethel, starts walking you through fixing the issue. He asks you to turn on your computer. You do, but slowly, because who has time for all this rushing? As the machine whirs to life, you mention offhand that the internet's been acting up lately. Only works properly on Tuesdays after lunch, you say, right after you've watered the geraniums. Raj pauses, confused, but pushes on. Little does he know, this call is about to turn into the scam of the century, or at least the funniest tech support fiasco since Y2K. Stay tuned, folks, because this is the story of how one clever grandma turned the tables on a tech support scammer, all because her internet supposedly only works when the dog isn't barking. And trust me, it's packed with laughs, a dash of nostalgia for the good old days, and enough everyday frustrations to make you nod along and say, "I've been there." Let's rewind a bit to set the stage. Back in the day, communication was simple. You picked up the rotary phone, dialed a number, click, 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 remember that sound? And talked to a real person. No passwords, no updates, no "your call is important to us" recordings that loop for an hour. Life was slower, but reliable. Fast forward to now, and everything's smart. Smartphones, smart TVs, smart fridges that tell you when you're out of milk. But for folks like Ethel, it's all a bit too smart for its own good. Wires everywhere, pop-ups that won't pop down, and don't get me started on those automatic updates that happen right when you're in the middle of emailing a recipe to your bridge club. Ethel's no stranger to these frustrations. Her computer was a gift from her son who swore it'd make life easier. "Mom, you can shop online, video chat with the grandkids, even play solitaire without cards," he said. But half the time, the Wi-Fi drops out, the screen freezes, or some virus warning flashes like a neon sign in Times Square. And the help? Calling tech support feels like shouting into the void, or worse, getting one of these scam calls where they pretend to help but really want your bank details. That's exactly what happened to Ethel that afternoon. Raj, the scammer, is part of a bigger operation, these call centers in far-off places preying on folks who aren't tech-savvy. They use scripts, fake urgency, and a whole lot of jargon to confuse you. Words like IP address, firewall, malware. Sounds like a bad sci-fi movie from the '80s, doesn't it? But Ethel, with her lifetime of dealing with door-to-door salesmen and infomercial hucksters, has a secret weapon: her sense of humor and a knack for storytelling that could rival your favorite radio drama. So, back to the call. Raj asks Ethel to open her web browser. "Which one?" she asks innocently. "The one with the fox or the one that looks like a colorful beach ball?" Raj sighs, you can hear it through the phone, and specifies Internet Explorer, because of course Ethel's still using that relic from the dinosaur age of the internet. As she clicks around, she starts chatting. "You know, young man, back in my day, we didn't have all this. We had encyclopedias, big books with pictures. If I wanted to know about the weather, I'd stick my head out the window." Raj tries to steer her back, telling her to type in a website that sounds suspicious, something like fixmycomputernow.com. But Ethel's not biting yet. She mentions her first frustration, the passwords. I have to remember more passwords than I do my grandkids' birthdays, and they're always saying too weak or add a symbol. What's wrong with Fluffy123? Fluffy was my cat back in '65, best mouser you ever saw. The scammer chuckles politely, thinking he's got an easy mark. He asks her to download some remote access software so he can see her screen. Ethel agrees, but slowly, oh so slowly. Hold on, dear, my glasses are fogging up from the tea, and the mouse is sticky from when little Timmy spilled juice last week. As the download starts, she launches into a nostalgic tale. Reminds me of when we got our first color TV in '69. The whole neighborhood came over to watch the moon landing. No buffering, no ads popping up, just pure magic. Now Raj is getting impatient. He connects remotely and starts poking around her files, pretending to find viruses. Ma'am, your system is infected. We need to act now. Ethel feigns shock. Infected? Like the time I caught the flu from square dancing in '82? Oh dear, what do we do? But then she adds her first curveball. Wait, before you fix it, can you check why my email only sends when I'm wearing my lucky socks? The ones with the polka dots from Woolworths. They closed down years ago, you know. Raj stammers, not sure how to respond. He pushes forward, asking her for her credit card to purchase antivirus software. That's when Ethel really ramps up the humor. Credit card? Honey, I still pay bills with checks. Remember checks? You write them out by hand, lick the envelope. None of this online banking nonsense where hackers steal your life savings faster than a fox in a henhouse. As he insists, Ethel hears her dog, Buster, a yappy little terrier who's been her companion since her husband passed, start barking at the mailman outside. Shh, Buster, not now, she says. And that's the moment. Raj, seeing his chance slipping, urges her to hurry, but Ethel drops the bomb. Oh, I can't type right now. The internet only works when the dog isn't barking. If he yaps, the whole thing cuts out. Been that way since the last thunderstorm. Or was it when I microwaved tinfoil by accident? Panic sets in for Raj. What? Ma'am, that's not possible. Dogs don't affect internet. But Ethel doubles down, her voice full of innocent confusion. Well, it does here. Dog barks, Wi-Fi winks out. Maybe it's Bacaller. It's one of those fancy electronic ones my son got. Or perhaps it's because the router's next to his bed. Hold on, let me pet him quiet. She makes soothing sounds, but Buster keeps going, adding to the chaos. Raj is flustered now, his script crumbling. He tries to explain routers and signals, but Ethel interrupts with more relatable rants. Signals? Like radio signals? I remember listening to The Shadow on the radio as a girl. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? Sounds like you scammers. And don't get me started on autocorrect. It turns duck into something I can't say in polite company. The call drags on, with Ethel weaving in stories of past tech woes, the VCR that ate tapes, the answering machine that recorded the neighbors' arguments, the first cell phone that was bigger than a brick. Each tale buys time, frustrating Raj. Ma'am, please, your computer is at risk, he pleads, but Ethel's on a roll. At risk? Like when we played bingo without helmets? Life was riskier then, but simpler. No one tried to scam you over the phone. They'd at least show up at your door with a vacuum cleaner demo. Buster barks louder, and Ethel claims the screen is flickering. See? Dog barks, internet parks. Maybe it's haunted by my old dial-up modem. Remember that screech? E-O-E! She mimics the sound perfectly, making Raj wince. He's panicking, realizing this isn't the easy mark he thought. Sweat beads on his forehead in some distant call center, as his supervisor probably listens in. To calm things, Ethel suggests a break. How about we make some virtual tea, or tell you about the time I tried online dating. Profile said loves long walks, but forgot to mention my walker. Raj, desperate, circles back to payment, but Ethel's ready. Payment? For what? Fixing a problem I didn't know I had? That's like the doctor charging you for a checkup when you're feeling fine. As the minutes tick by, Ethel shares more frustrations. Grandkids who fix things by restarting everything, spam emails promising miracles, social media where everyone's life looks perfect, but yours is just cat videos and farm games. Facebook, more like Facebooked for trouble. I once friended a prince who needed money. Sounded like my ex-brother-in-law. Raj tries one last push, but Buster's in full frenzy now. Ma'am, ignore the dog. Give me your card number. Ethel laughs. Ignore Buster? Easier to ignore a mosquito in July. Besides, if he stops, the ghosts in the machine might wake up. Ever since I spilled coffee on the keyboard. Sticky keys, you know? The scammer's voice cracks, pure panic. He's off script, rambling about reboots and firewalls. Ethel senses victory. Young man, you sound more confused than I am during tax season. Maybe you need tech support. And with that, she hangs up, Buster finally quieting as if on cue. But wait, that's not the end. This story, like many scam tales, has a twist. Ethel wasn't as clueless as she seemed. She'd read about these scams in her AARP magazine, remember magazines, and decided to have some fun. She recorded the call, reported it to the authorities, and even shared the story at her senior center, where everyone roared with laughter. Now let's dive deeper into why these scams target older folks like us. It's not because we're dumb, far from it. We've survived wars, recessions, and disco. It's because we're polite, trusting, and sometimes lonely. Scammers exploit that, using fear tactics like, your grandkids' photos will be lost. But armed with humor and a bit of knowledge, we can fight back. Think about the nostalgia. In the 50s, a scam was a shady car salesman. Now, it's invisible voices from halfway around the world. But the frustrations are the same, feeling out of control. Like when your TV remote has 50 buttons, but you only need power and volume. Or updating software that breaks what wasn't broken. Ethel's adventure continues as she tells her family. Her son laughs. Mom, you trolled a scammer. Troll? Ethel thinks of fairy tales, not internet lingo, but she gets it, turning the tables with wit. And Buster, he gets extra treats for his starring role. Now let's break down the call step by step with tips woven in. First, the greeting. Scammers often say Windows support or Amazon security. Real companies don't cold call. Tip. Hang up and call back using a number from their official site, like looking up a business in the yellow pages back in the day. Then the urgency. Act now or lose everything. Remember panic buying during shortages? Don't fall for it. Take a breath, maybe pet your dog. Remote access. Never let strangers control your screen. It's like handing over your house keys to a door-to-door solicitor. Payment demands. If they ask for gift cards or wire transfers, red flag. Legit fixes don't work that way. Ethel's line about checks, gold. And the dog barking bit, pure genius. It threw Raj off, buying time to realize it was a scam. Humor disarms, like joking with the pushy salesman until he leaves. Now imagine if more of us did this. Turn scam calls into comedy routines. My computer only works during full moons, or the Wi-Fi hates polka music, reminds me of Lawrence Welk shows. Nostalgia helps